Ladies, let's be real for a second. You don't want just any guy to chase you. You want the right guy to chase you, the one who's genuinely interested, the one who values you, and the one who's actually worth your time. And that's the first thing you need to understand. Your time is valuable. See, the biggest mistake I see women making is trying to get a man to chase them. They play games, they act unavailable, they overthink every text. And guess what? It backfires, because the moment you try to make someone chase you, you've already given up your power. So how do you flip the script? Be someone worth chasing. If you want a man to chase you, the first and most important step is to become someone worth chasing. This is where most people get it wrong. They focus on tactics, how long to wait before texting back, how to act mysterious, or how to play hard to get. But the truth is, no strategy will work if you're not genuinely someone who excites and intrigues him. A man doesn't chase because you've manipulated him into it. He chases because he feels something real when he's around you. Think about the kind of people you naturally gravitate toward in life. They're the ones who have something special about them, an energy, a purpose, a sense of fun. These people don't desperately seek attention, they attract it effortlessly. The same applies to dating. A man is drawn to a woman who is engaged in her own life, who brings something exciting to the table and who isn't just waiting for someone to come along and give her a reason to feel special. The first step in becoming someone worth chasing is to have a life you genuinely enjoy. If your happiness depends on whether a man is texting you or showing interest, you're handing over all your power. Instead, shift the focus inward. What lights you up? What makes you feel alive? Is it your career, a passion project, your friendships, travel, fitness, art? The more you cultivate a life that excites you, the more naturally magnetic you become. Men and people in general are drawn to those who exude passion and purpose. It makes them think, I want to be a part of that. Confidence is another crucial element. Confidence doesn't mean being the loudest person in the room or acting like you don't care. It's about knowing your worth and carrying yourself with a quiet certainty. A woman who values herself doesn't chase validation. She doesn't need a man to choose her because she already knows she's valuable. And that self-assurance is incredibly attractive. It creates a sense of mystery and challenge, which naturally triggers a man's desire to pursue. He starts to wonder what makes her so sure of herself, what's so special about her life, and that curiosity turns into attraction. Another key part of being someone worth chasing is your ability to create positive, memorable experiences. Attraction alone isn't enough to make a man chase. A guy can find you beautiful, but if there's no emotional connection, he won't feel compelled to pursue you. What makes a man chase is how he feels when he's around you. Do you make him laugh? Do you challenge him in a way that's fun and exciting? Do you bring out the best version of him? A woman who is playful, spontaneous, and engaging naturally leaves an impression that makes a man want more. He starts associating her presence with something exciting and fulfilling, and that's what keeps him coming back. There's also a delicate balance between being warm and open while still maintaining your standards. Some women are afraid to set boundaries because they think it will scare a man away. The reality is the right man won't be put off by your standards. He'll be intrigued. When you show that you respect yourself and have expectations for how you want to be treated, it signals that you're not just another woman hoping for his attention. You're someone he has to earn, and men value what they earn. If you give too much too soon, whether it's your time, energy, or emotional investment, he won't have to work for it. And what comes too easily is rarely appreciated. Being someone worth chasing also means knowing when to walk away. This is where many people struggle. They think if they just try a little harder, give a little more, or wait a little longer, the guy will finally step up. But a high-value woman understands that if a man isn't showing up for her in the way she deserves, she doesn't beg, she doesn't cling, and she doesn't wait indefinitely. She moves on. This doesn't mean playing games or being cold. It simply means knowing that the right person will recognize her worth without needing constant persuasion. What happens when you adopt this mindset? The dynamic shifts. Instead of you trying to get a man to chase you, you naturally create a situation where he wants to chase you. He sees that you're not just another woman hoping for attention. You're someone with a life, with standards, with something truly special to offer. And when a man senses that, he doesn't want to risk losing you. So instead of focusing on how to make a man chase you, focus on becoming a woman who is naturally worth chasing. The difference is subtle but powerful. When you show up as the most confident, engaged, and self-assured version of yourself, you won't have to do anything special to attract a great man. He'll already be thinking, how do I make sure I don't lose her? And that's the kind of energy that leads to a real lasting connection. Create an experience, not just attraction. Attraction is everywhere. A man can walk down the street, open Instagram, or step into a cafe and see someone physically attractive. Attraction is instant, effortless, and quite frankly, common. But making a man chase you isn't just about attraction. It's about the experience he has when he's around you. It's about how you make him feel. That feeling is what separates you from every other beautiful woman he encounters. Think about the moments in life that truly stick with you. They're not just about what you saw. They're about how you felt in that moment. The thrill of a spontaneous adventure, the deep laughter of an inside joke, the excitement of discovering something new. These are experiences that make a lasting impact. The same principle applies to dating. If a man only sees you as someone attractive, he might be interested for a while, but interest fades. If he associates you with a unique, exciting, and emotionally rich experience, he'll keep coming back for more. One of the biggest mistakes people make in dating is relying too much on initial attraction without building something deeper. Many women think that if a guy finds them pretty enough, he'll stick around. But the reality is, men don't chase just because they're physically attracted. They chase because they feel something different when they're around you. If every interaction feels surface level or predictable, there's no reason for him to prioritize you over anyone else. Creating an experience means showing up in a way that's engaging, fun, and emotionally dynamic. It means bringing something to the table beyond just your looks. When a man thinks of you, he should associate you with feelings of excitement, comfort, playfulness, or inspiration. He should feel like spending time with you as an escape from the ordinary. That's what makes a man crave your presence. Not just attraction, but the emotional imprint you leave on him. One of the most powerful ways to create an experience is through playful energy. Playfulness makes interactions light, fun, and unforgettable. It brings out the best in both of you and creates a connection that feels effortless. Teasing him in a fun way, making a joke at the perfect moment, or adding an element of spontaneity to your time together can shift the entire dynamic. Playfulness isn't about acting childish, it's about bringing a sense of ease and joy to your interactions. A woman who can make a man laugh, challenge him playfully, or create a little mystery is far more intriguing than someone who simply agrees with everything he says and follows his lead. Another way to create an experience is through depth. While playfulness keeps things exciting, emotional depth makes a man feel truly connected to you. Men often live in a world where they're expected to be tough, logical, and in control. But deep down, they crave emotional connection just like anyone else. When you create a space where he feels seen, understood, and safe to express himself, you stand out in his mind. This doesn't mean turning every conversation into a deep therapy session, but it does mean being genuinely curious about who he is. Asking thoughtful questions, sharing meaningful stories, and opening up at the right moments all create a sense of closeness that makes him want to be around you. Beyond emotions, shared experiences also play a huge role in making a man chase you. When you do interesting things together, you build memories that set you apart from the routine of everyday life. Instead of defaulting to dinner and a movie, mix things up. Go on a spontaneous day trip, try something neither of you has done before, or find small ways to create excitement in even the simplest moments. Shared adventures, whether big or small, create bonds that make him associate you with excitement and newness. The way you carry yourself also contributes to the experience you create. A woman who is confident, self-assured, and comfortable in her own skin naturally makes others feel good around her. Confidence isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It's about having an energy that makes people feel drawn to you. When a man senses that you're happy with yourself and your life, he feels like being around you will only add to his own happiness. That's a feeling he won't want to lose. Another important factor is unpredictability. If every interaction follows the same pattern, it becomes predictable, and predictability kills excitement. A man should never feel like he has completely figured you out. This doesn't mean playing mind games, but it does mean keeping a sense of intrigue alive. Keep things fresh by introducing new conversations, trying new things, and maintaining a bit of mystery. If he always knows exactly how you'll respond, there's nothing left for him to discover. Lastly, making a man chase you comes down to being someone who enriches his life. When a man feels like he's becoming a better version of himself around you, he won't just be attracted, he'll be invested. This happens when you inspire him, challenge him, and bring out his best qualities. People don't just fall for looks, they fall for the way someone makes them feel about themselves. If a man feels more confident, more alive, and more excited about life because of you, he won't just want to be around you. He'll actively chase that feeling. Attraction might get his attention, but the experience you create will keep him coming back. If you focus on bringing playfulness, depth, shared adventure, confidence, and a touch of mystery into your interactions, you won't have to wonder whether he's going to chase you. He'll already be thinking about how to make sure he doesn't lose you. Let him invest. One of the most powerful things you can do to make a man chase you is to let him invest in you. This is where many women get things completely backward. They believe that by giving more attention, more affection, more effort, they can make a man want them more. But human psychology works in the opposite way. People don't value what comes easily. They value what they have to work for. When a man invests his time, energy, and effort into you, he naturally becomes more attached. He doesn't chase because you're doing all the work. He chases because he feels like he's earning something valuable. When you give too much too soon, without allowing a man to step up and contribute, he doesn't have to put in any effort. And when there's no effort, there's no emotional investment. Think about the things you value most in your life, your career, your fitness, your friendships. These are areas where you've put in time and effort, and that's why they matter to you. The same applies to relationships. If a man doesn't have to invest in you, he won't value the connection as much. A lot of women fear that if they don't constantly show interest, a man will lose interest and walk away. But the truth is, if a man is genuinely interested, he wants to invest. He wants to feel like he's earning your attention and affection. When you allow him to invest, you give him the opportunity to prove to himself that he values you. If he's not willing to put in any effort, that's not a man who would have stayed long-term anyway. Letting a man invest doesn't mean playing games or withholding affection. It means creating a dynamic where he has to take action to win you over. This can be as simple as letting him initiate plans, call you first, or put thought into how he spends time with you. If you're always the one suggesting things, texting first, or trying to make everything easier for him, you're robbing him of the opportunity to step up. Men appreciate what they have to earn. Think about a job promotion. If it's just handed to someone without any effort, they won't feel the same sense of accomplishment as they would if they had to work for it. When a man invests in you, he starts to see you as something valuable, someone he wants to keep in his life. It's the effort that creates the emotional bond, not just attraction alone. A crucial part of letting a man invest is resisting the urge to overcompensate. Many women, especially when they like someone, try to make things easier for the man. They go out of their way to plan everything, solve every problem, and prove their worth. But relationships should be balanced. If you're doing all the work, what is he bringing to the table? When you do too much, he doesn't get the chance to show you what he's capable of. And men want to feel like men. They want to feel like they're contributing, protecting, and providing in some way. When you allow a man to invest, you let him step into that role. Another key factor is patience. Sometimes women rush to fill in the gaps. If a man isn't texting fast enough or planning dates soon enough, they take over. But letting him invest means giving him space to show his intentions. If he's interested, he will step up. If he doesn't, then you have your answer. A man who is genuinely into you won't want to leave all the effort on your side. He'll want to prove himself, to show that he's worthy of your time. It's also important to reward his efforts in a way that makes him feel appreciated. Some women take the approach of acting too distant or cold, thinking that this will make a man work harder. But men need encouragement. When he does something thoughtful, acknowledge it. When he makes an effort, show appreciation. Let him know that his investment is recognized. This creates a dynamic where he wants to do more because he sees that his actions have a positive effect. Letting a man invest also means having standards. If a man is inconsistent, flaky, or putting in minimal effort, you don't chase or try harder to make up for it. Instead, you step back and focus on yourself. The right man will recognize that if he doesn't put in effort, someone else will. The wrong man will walk away. And that's actually a good thing because it means you didn't waste your time on someone who wasn't willing to invest in you. The biggest mindset shift you need to make is this: you are the prize. You don't have to prove your worth to a man. The right man will recognize it and will want to invest. If he's not investing, he's not the right man. And when you hold that mindset, you naturally attract men who are willing to step up, show effort, and make you feel valued. By letting a man invest, you create a relationship dynamic where he feels deeply connected to you, not just because of attraction, but because he sees you as someone worth his time, energy, and effort. And that's the kind of connection that lasts. Be willing to walk away. One of the most powerful things you can do in any relationship is to be willing to walk away. This is not about playing games or manipulating someone into valuing you. It is about knowing your worth and refusing to settle for less than what you deserve. The moment you truly internalize this mindset, everything changes. You stop tolerating inconsistency. You stop chasing someone who isn't showing up for you. And most importantly, you create a space where only the right man, one who values and respects you, can step in and claim that space. The biggest mistake people make in relationships is holding on too tightly to something that isn't serving them. They fear that if they let go, they might lose their chance at love. But what they fail to realize is that love, real, fulfilling love, shouldn't feel like a desperate attempt to convince someone to stay. If a man is unsure about you, if he's giving you mixed signals, if he's not stepping up in the way you need him to, your willingness to walk away isn't about punishing him, it's about respecting yourself. When you fear walking away, you operate from a place of scarcity. You convince yourself that this is the best you can get, that maybe if you try harder, give more, or wait a little longer, things will change. But that kind of thinking traps you in a cycle where you are always the one proving your worth, always the one hoping for more. And the moment a man senses that you are willing to tolerate less than you deserve, the dynamic shifts. He no longer feels the need to step up because he knows he doesn't have to. Walking away isn't just about physically leaving. It's about having the mindset that you will not cling to something that isn't adding value to your life. It's about recognizing when someone's actions don't match their words and refusing to make excuses for them. Too often, people fall in love with potential, the idea of what someone could be if only they tried harder, if only they worked through their issues, if only they saw your work. But love is not about potential. It's about how someone shows up right now. A man respects a woman who has standards. He may not say it outright, but deep down, men admire women who have the confidence to say, this is what I need, and if you can't provide it, I will find someone who will. That kind of certainty is magnetic. It creates a challenge, not in a manipulative way, but in a way that signals to a man that if he doesn't step up, he risks losing something valuable. Men are wired to chase what they feel they could lose. If you are always available, always accommodating, always forgiving poor behavior without consequence, there is no urgency for him to act. He knows you will always be there, so there is no real incentive to invest at a higher level. But when a man senses that you are willing to walk away if your needs are not met, he suddenly has to make a choice, either step up or step aside. And that moment of decision is what separates the men who are truly serious about you from the ones who are just passing time. The right man will rise to the occasion, the wrong man will disappear. And that's exactly what you want, because the man who disappears was never going to give you what you deserved in the first place. You didn't lose him, you just avoided wasting more time on someone who was never fully in. Walking away also requires emotional discipline. It means resisting the urge to settle for breadcrumbs. It means not texting when you know you shouldn't, not checking his social media obsessively, not making excuses for his lack of effort. It means trusting that by letting go of the wrong thing, you are making space for the right thing. This doesn't mean you should have an attitude of, I don't need anyone, or act cold and detached. It simply means you approach dating with a strong sense of self-worth. You know what you bring to the table. You know you are capable of love, of deep connection, of bringing joy and value into someone's life. And because you know this, you also know that settling for less is not an option. The beautiful thing about being willing to walk away is that it actually increases your chances of finding the right relationship. When you hold yourself to a high standard, you naturally attract people who are willing to meet that standard. You stop wasting time on men who are inconsistent, emotionally unavailable, or simply not that interested. You filter out the ones who were never serious, and you create space for the one who truly sees and values you. A man cannot chase what he already has. If you are always available, if you always forgive without boundaries, if you cling to a relationship that isn't fulfilling, there is no reason for him to step up. But when he senses that you have the strength to walk away, he is forced to decide. Does he want to rise to the occasion and prove himself, or does he want to let you go? That moment of realization can be a game changer. Some women fear that if they walk away, they will be alone. But being alone for a while is far better than being with someone who makes you feel lonely in a relationship. It is better to be single and open to the right person than to be stuck in a situation where you are constantly questioning your worth. The key takeaway is this: your willingness to walk away is not about playing games. It is about knowing that love should never be about convincing someone to choose you. It should be about two people who both recognize the value of what they have and are willing to put in the effort to make it work. If you have to beg, chase, or lower your standards, it's not the right relationship. Real confidence comes from knowing that you are enough on your own, that you don't have to cling to something just because you fear letting go. The right man, the one who truly values and respects you, will never need you to beg for his attention. He will already know your worth, and he will want to make sure he doesn't lose you. And if he doesn't, then walking away was the best decision you ever made. Be a source of positive energy. Men are naturally drawn to women who bring joy, excitement, and positive energy into their lives. When you radiate confidence, warmth, and happiness, you create an environment that feels good to be around. A man will always be more eager to chase someone who makes him feel uplifted rather than someone who brings stress, drama, or negativity into his life. The truth is, people, men included, gravitate toward what makes them feel good. If he associates you with laughter, lightness, and positive emotions, he will naturally want to be near you more often. Being a source of positive energy doesn't mean you have to be happy all the time or ignore your feelings. It simply means you approach life with a sense of optimism, resilience, and a mindset that focuses on solutions rather than problems. When you carry yourself with confidence and joy, your energy becomes magnetic. A man will be drawn to you not just because of how you look, but because of how he feels when he's around you. Think about the people you love spending time with the most. They're likely the ones who make you laugh, encourage you, and leave you feeling energized rather than drained. That's the same effect you want to create in your relationship. When a man finds himself looking forward to seeing you, knowing that he'll feel inspired, relaxed, or simply at peace in your presence, he will naturally put in more effort to be around you. This doesn't mean you should suppress your emotions or act like everything is perfect all the time. Authenticity is key. The goal is to create an emotional environment that feels good, not to be fake. Even when life gets challenging, you can still choose to approach difficulties with grace and resilience. Instead of complaining about what's wrong, focus on what can be done to improve things. Instead of dwelling on negativity, find moments of gratitude and appreciation. That mindset shift alone makes you more attractive and desirable. Another aspect of positive energy is how you interact with him. Show appreciation for the little things he does. Laugh at his jokes, even if they're not perfect. Engage in playful banter. Be present in the moment instead of constantly worrying about the future. When you bring a light, playful, and encouraging energy into the relationship, he will associate being with you as something enjoyable and fulfilling. Men are drawn to women who make them feel good about themselves. If he feels admired, respected, and uplifted in your presence, he will chase you because he won't want to lose that feeling. On the other hand, if he feels criticized, drained, or like he can never do enough to make you happy, he will start pulling away. By being a source of positive energy, you create an irresistible presence. You make a man feel excited to be around you, and when someone feels good in your presence, they will always find a way to keep you in their life. Embrace your feminine energy. Embracing your feminine energy is one of the most powerful ways to make a man chase you. Feminine energy isn't about being weak or submissive. It's about being receptive, graceful, confident, and in touch with your emotions and intuition. It's about allowing yourself to be pursued rather than always doing the chasing. When you fully step into your feminine essence, you create a magnetic pull that naturally draws a man toward you. In today's world, many women feel pressure to always be in control, to take charge in relationships, and to prove their worth through action. While there's nothing wrong with ambition and independence, constantly operating in a masculine energy, leading, planning, initiating, can shift the relationship dynamic and make a man feel like he doesn't need to step up. Feminine energy, on the other hand, is about receiving, flowing, and allowing things to unfold rather than forcing them. When you embrace this energy, you give a man space to step into his masculine role and want to pursue you. One of the key aspects of feminine energy is receptivity. This means allowing a man to show interest, make plans, and take the lead at times. It doesn't mean you can't express your needs or desires, but rather that you trust the process instead of always trying to control it. When a man feels that you trust his ability to lead and provide in different ways, he will naturally want to do more for you. Another important trait of feminine energy is softness and vulnerability. Many women fear showing vulnerability because they see it as weakness, but in reality, vulnerability is strength. It allows for deeper emotional connection. When you let a man see your authentic emotions, whether it's happiness, excitement, or even moments of uncertainty, you invite him to connect with you on a deeper level. Men are drawn to women who allow them to feel needed and appreciated. By showing your emotions openly and honestly, you create a safe space for intimacy to grow. Feminine energy is also about playfulness and lightness. Men are naturally drawn to women who bring a sense of fun, curiosity, and joy into their lives. Instead of always being serious or overly analytical about where things are going, lean into the present moment, engage in playful teasing, laugh freely, and bring warmth into your interactions. This energy makes you irresistible because it creates an atmosphere of ease and enjoyment. Another crucial aspect of feminine energy is self-care and confidence. When you take care of yourself physically, emotionally, and spiritually, you exude an energy that is naturally attractive. Confidence in your femininity isn't about seeking validation. It's about knowing your worth, feeling comfortable in your own skin, and allowing your natural beauty to shine. A woman who embraces her femininity takes pride in herself, not just for external validation, but because she truly values herself. When you embrace your feminine energy, you create a space where a man wants to step up and chase you. You don't have to force anything. Your presence alone is enough to draw him in. Instead of chasing him, you become the woman he wants to pursue because being with you feels like a gift he doesn't want to lose.